Check, check, check. Check, check, check. All right. So we got action, y'all. We got action. The volume is working. The last time I went on live the other day, I was on here for like 3 minutes and I had no volume. So I'm going to make sure that that is on there and we are rocking and rolling before I begin. This topic could get heated. I am going to try to control it as much as I can. This will not turn into a bashing segment against anybody. That is not what I want to do. In fact, I feel like it's too much of that going on. And that is why, what's up? I see BJ313 on YouTube, checking me out on YouTube. This is a streaming app. I am across 5 or 6 different platforms right now. So some of the things that come in, it may have your name, it may not have your name, depending on where you're tuning in from. I went and did a segment with my guy, Black Collar 6, and I said, man, I call him Ham. So I say, man, my guy got all of this equipment and I just whoop, whoop, whoop. And I've done this before. I've actually had a podcast type of platform with my guy Jeter. And I was like, man, I should get back into that. And I really was overthinking it. So I looked up a couple platforms. I talked with him a little bit and we spit game amongst each other. And he gave me a couple ideas about the software he was using. And I put it together with the help. You know, you always can get help. So I will probably be on there with him doing his pretty soon. And he does some of the same type of things. School had me tied down a little bit and I wanted to focus up. I had a lot of classes in the last couple semesters, but we back to doing some live streaming. It'll be kind of sporadic in the next month or so as I get the handle on the rest of my classes, but I want to make sure I get back to this because I actually like doing this. So earlier this week, I had a conversation with a friend and we talked about the male-female dynamic amongst Black people. And we came to a not so conclusionary conclusion, but I wanted to talk about it. And I let her know, like, this is a topic that needs to be discussed. And I want to make sure everybody involved leaves some type of comment so we can talk about it. If you want to get on here, I can get you on here. If you're on Facebook, let me know. I could just send you a link and you can actually tap in. This is not something that is just about me speaking my mind. I want to get some opinions. I won't be on here as long as I was on here the other day. I'm going to try to keep this about 30, 45 minutes tops. But the point is this: you see a lot of things on social media where it's men this, women this. You get a lot of bashing, you get a lot of finger pointing, and then you get a lot of people not willing to accept responsibility for anything. So I am 38 years old. When you get to this age, you've had relationships. I've had a divorce. I've had other things that I don't have a problem dealing with. My past, I am fully accepting of everything that I've been through because it made me who I am today. But you get people that don't want to accept responsibility for the things that they did in relationships, and they don't want to accept responsibility for where they are, whether that be a lack of a relationship or an unhappy relationship, or even some people that's happily not in a relationship. Social media has made it to where we feel like we have to be in a relationship. We have to post our significant other. We have to have somebody because we're seeing people with somebody. It does that with other things too. Social media will make you believe you have to have the latest in clothes or jewelry or cars or homes, whatever, because you look at social media and you see people posting the highlights of their life. And you feel like you have to keep up with these people highlights. Life is not the same as social media. When people take small clips of their life and post it on social media, you don't get a real feel for what's going on. So you may see somebody out and it's date night and they're doing things and happy together, but you don't know they both cheating. Like, that's not your business because you're not in their media circle and you're not the ones that they're cheating with. So you get this type of unrealistic expectations, and that's transposed onto your relationship. So if you don't get the same feeling from these relationships, then you feel like these relationships aren't good. A good relationship is based on both people in a relationship being happy. So if both people in a relationship are happy, it doesn't matter what social media think, and both people can be happy in this relationship without social media knowing it. Now, if you're in a relationship and your mate wants your relationship to be public on social media, they want you to tag them and everything. They want you to claim them. They want you to acknowledge them as your significant other, and you're not into that, then you won't have a happy relationship because it's two wires that's crossing. But if your relationship is just as good private and you could no face, no case it, that's your business. So going into the male and female dynamic, you talk about somebody like Kevin Samuels. So Kevin Samuels was looked at as being a womanizer or somebody that down women. I didn't see Kevin Samuels like that. I seen Kevin Samuels as having an opinion just like everybody else. His opinion wasn't the most popular opinion, but the truth is very rarely the most popular opinion, because nowadays the comedians can't even tell the truth. Comedians went on stage in the 70s and 80s. You get guys like Fred Sanford, and you get guys like Richard Pryor who could go on there and say whatever they wanted to say. Even earlier, Eddie Murphy, they can go on stage and say whatever they wanted to say. They can call women bitches. They can call gay people fags. They could do whatever they wanted to do. Today, if I came on stage and I said, man, this fag stopped me in the grocery store, I could say what I want to. This is my podcast. But if I was doing a Netflix series or anything that's big money, I have to deal with sponsors. I have to deal with everybody that's involved in this show because they'll get the backlash. So within the social media aspect of being in a relationship, you have to overplay things. So let's say your significant other was going through a hard time. You don't put that on social media. Maybe you do something nice and say, thanks to the hubby for dinner, or thanks to the wife for this, or whatever. So you put off this certain image, and that's the way you uphold your image. You don't want people to know that you're taking care of this person, or you're doing certain things that you don't feel like is right to do in this particular relationship. It's different when you married and you holding somebody down, but maybe this is a new relationship and your friends already said you a fool because you bought the guy a car, or you bought the female a house, or whatever. You go through these type of emotions and this type of thing, and you stuck inside of this bubble that people want you to be in. Now, the way that we view relationships is not the way that relationships were viewed 30, 40, 50 years ago. Relationships 30, 40, 50 years ago, you get people talking about the man taking care of the household, the woman being pregnant and barefoot, doing everything around the house. You talk about women bearing children, like just constantly bearing children and not having a professional life. The issue here is women fought for these equal rights. So it's certain jobs that men would have had that women are now taking. So it's not a woman's fault, but these are the rights that was fought for. So now you have to deal with women in the workplace, where this workplace was mostly men and women were at home. But now women are getting degrees. I was at the Black graduation yesterday, and it was, my fiance counted. She said it was 27 men in there, and it was like 200 and something people overall. So you're talking about 10%. So now you have a 10% graduation just at this school and just in Black people. And I'm not saying the people that didn't attend or didn't participate in the Black graduation weren't mostly men. It could have been. But in this particular room of graduates, Black graduates, only about 10 to 12%, let's give it 15%. Let's say 15% of the participants in this graduation ceremony were male, and 85% of them were female. So within these Black people, you're talking about 85% of this graduating class, black graduating class, being females. So those females are not trying to stay at home and be barefoot and pregnant. So we got not enough God in their relationships. They think they running things. Trust me, I'm glad I learned before it was too late. With God being a part, it brings respect, admiration, love, and boundaries. I can only see Facebook user. This may be somebody from my group. If you could please type your name so I can know who it is. I just want to see if it's a male or a female. That's just to make sure that I'm commenting in the right direction. But when you, even with this, God in their relationship, so we're talking about God, and God in this particular relationship, I'm talking about females not wanting to sit at home. Hey, how you doing, auntie? That's Aunt Ellen, y'all. She's a pastor. So in this particular relationship, I'm talking about females not being at home, Aunt Ellen. And the females not being at home, once again, you get females that make money. So now they're dealing with males, and some of these females make more money than what the males make that they deal with. So now you got these college graduate females, and you may have a male that, let's say, he do construction, but the speaker yesterday has a doctorate degree. So let's say the speaker yesterday, she's been through a struggle. Her mom died when she was 15. 16 years later, she was walking across the stage getting her doctorate degree. So with her doctor's degree, she's going to automatically make six figures somewhere. Wherever she decide to work, they're going to have to offer her six figures somewhere close to it, maybe even, 150, 200, whatever. And then it's unlimited potential if she wants to open her own practice. She's going to make decent, like really great money. Really great money. People look down on a six-figure job, but when you think about the numbers, six-figure puts you in a 2 to 3% range, especially for Black people. I posted a post earlier this week, and the average income for the African-American family was 34,000, maybe. Don't give me the line, maybe in 36. It was somewhere around there, but it was less than 40,000. So this particular person with this doctor's degree, this young lady is destined to make, supposedly she can make 150, let's say 140, 150 with her doctorate degree. So she's 3 to 4 times at least the amount of the Black family in America. Now, with her 150, the males she deal with, she would expect for them to let's say she want them to match her 150. So now you have a $300,000 dollar income household. So we're discussing the power that women have now because of where they are in the corporate world as opposed to many years ago. Yes, that what I'm saying is things change. So with changing of women's rights, women are now able to make money. It may not be exactly the same as the male. Maybe they're making, let's say, 85% of what the average males make. And that has a lot to do with the higher level. You got females that's not in the CEO space. Like they're not, it's not a lot of females that's like CEOs of these big five corporate 500, top 500 companies and things like that. So it kind of skewed the numbers a little bit. But females, especially Black women, are making money. If you look at the numbers, Black females are probably making as much or more than Black males, because just due to statistics, a lot of Black males have criminal history. A lot of Black males are in prison. A lot of Black males are in the streets and doing different things. And I'm not saying Black females aren't. I'm just saying the graduating class was 85% of the Black graduating class that I was just there. It was 27 males there, and it was like 200 and something people altogether. So I'm giving 15%. That's what's 85, 15%. So what I'm saying is these females are going out and making money. So now the dynamic changes. So let's get off of that. The dynamic changes when females make money. So when females make money, the dynamic turns into, I can handle my own bills. What good are you? It turns into that. It's not that they're doing it on purpose. If a male is supposed to provide, protect, and a woman feels like I make enough money to provide for myself. I'm protected because I've moved away from situations into these neighborhoods that I'm protected. A male, I take out my own trash. I'm barely there because I'm in the corporate world. I'm out doing things. I eat before I get home. I do whatever. I'm just throwing this type of the regular lifestyle. If you're that busy, you're barely going to be in the kitchen cooking all the time. So the dynamic has changed. And when people get on social media, they keep talking about this old dynamic a lot of times where they say, oh, a man is supposed to, a woman is supposed to. That's fine. In a relationship, whatever dynamic works for you is fine. If your relationship is based on your man making the money, bringing home the bacon, paying all the bills, and you can go out, hang with your friends, shop, do what you want to do. If that works for you guys, that is fine. That's fine. Social media and these reality shows or Real Housewives or whoever should not dictate what works in your relationship. In your relationship, you may be the breadwinner as a female and your husband may raise the kids. If that works for you guys, I have a friend I grew up with and she explained to me that that may be how her relationship has to work because she makes six figures. She makes like over $100,000 when she's working full time. She make over, and she explained this to me. She said, "Whoever I deal with may have to sit at home with the kids because I'm making a lot of money." And she didn't mind him being at home. And maybe he has something he can do from home. Maybe he has something he does part time so he can contribute and don't feel like less of a man. But she was open to the fact that she may have to be the breadwinner. It's 2023. If we keep talking about what happened in 1947, 1956, we through because we don't even understand the relationships that was going on in 1947. Your grandmother is not going to tell you how many babies your grandfather had on her. Your grandfather is not about to tell you how much he hated that your grandmama didn't do anything and he had to go handle all the business. So we only get clips of those relationships. It's no different than social media. We're only getting clips of 1947 relationships. There were a lot of miserable women in 1947 because there were husbands that went out every day that made money, that had side women, that still brung the bacon back home, took care of that, took care of their side pieces, had kids by another woman, or did something did something else on the side, and they lied. It's people now that think they have cousins that's really their aunties. Like, you think you had, oh, this is my cousin, this is my, no, that is your grandfather's side chick's kid. That is your aunt. You don't know it. Stop thinking that these glimpses of perfect relationships from 50, 60, 70 years ago is realistic. It's no different than the clips that you see on social media of people highlighting their lifestyle. Your grandmother may not dog your granddaddy, but she may have been miserable for 30, 40, 50 years as your granddaddy ran the streets like a dog. But she had nothing to fall back on, so she had to deal with that. She had to sit there and deal with this man doing whatever he wanted to do because she was secure in her bills being paid. She was secure knowing that he was going to take care of the house. She was secure knowing that he wasn't going to let anything happen to her, because that may have been the 1947 attitude. But in 2023, women are making enough money to where they don't have to deal with that. So you think, well, I'm going to make this money and I can do what I want to do, and you need to shut up because no, because the female, where we're thinking she needs to shut up and listen. No, that woman has been taught to have an opinion. So you have to respect her opinion. Even if she doesn't work, even if you pay all the bills, even if you're the one handling all the business, whatever, that woman has been taught to have an opinion. This is not 1947. She should not shut up and just have kids, cook and clean for you, and be whatever you want her to be. This woman has been taught to be respected because this is not 1947. This is not 1952. This is 2023. That woman has learned how to be an entity on her own, and you have to respect that. So we come into these relationships with these already preset notions, then we wonder why our relationships are not working. Speak on it. That was so many years ago. It's definitely the truth. So even when you see people in relationships that you don't agree with, you see people in these polygamous relationships, or you see people that's in open relationships, or you see all of this other stuff, and you say, I don't know how they do that. That may work for them. If they're happy, it's fine. It's a lot of people in monogamous relationships that aren't happy. It's a lot of people that's single and not happy. If these people are doing something that works for them, it's their business. It's no different than gay relationships and homosexual, whatever you want to call it, but gay relationships. If a man and a man is happy with they other man, that is their business. It's not your business to judge them. How could they do that? It's their business. It's their business. If you don't agree with it and you don't want your people around it or your kids around it, then you deal with that. You block them or you would do whatever so you can, protect your house. That's fine. That you can do that too, because that's your business. But whatever is making that couple happy is their business. If the brat and her wife want to go out and have 10 kids, that is their business if they're happy. So when we look at the Black relationships, a lot of problems come from these clips, which make being in these relationships unrealistic. And it comes from other people being so judgmental that you don't want to be happy doing you. So now you get all of these men that are undercover, they sneaking and getting married, and they dealing with these wives. And some of these guys are married for 20, 30 years before it slap them in the face or something happened and they put on blast or whatever. And that's because the Black community has really been so judgmental. And it doesn't mean that other communities aren't judgmental, but I'm not a part of other communities. I'm a part of the Black community, and we've been so judgmental. We judge everything. We judge you by what you drive. We judge you by what you wear. We judge you by the way you wear your hair. We judge you by piercings and tattoos and everything else. And we're so judgmental. And a lot of times the problem isn't the person that we're judging. The problem is us. We have so many preconceived notions about relationships, so many preconceived notions about people, so many preconceived notions about materialistic things. And all of these things, they are a part of you. So you don't even know how judgmental you are as you're watching things. You're watching things and you're making all these judgments. Dang, I don't know why, or she, why she got her hair like that, or why he do this, or why he wearing that, or what? Listen, man, everybody is different. You can find somebody that you have Dwayne Wade. He wants to wear his pants tight. He wants to, hey, Cinnamon. So you got Dwayne Wade and somebody like that. He want to wear his pants tight. He want to wear pink. He want to do what he want to do. That man has never said he was gay. And whatever he do, we're making him out to be a homosexual, because he said he's going to allow his son to be a little girl if that's what he want to do. Now, I don't agree with that, but that's not my business, because that's not in my house. Social media has turned everybody's business into our business. So if that man says, I want to support my son in this way, and his relationship with his son is great, but you have somebody else on this side who says, I would never support that. My son is going to be a son. I am raising a man. And then you have this little boy who's miserable because he's not what he really feels like he wants to be. And then They can't get along. The boy hates his daddy. The daddy despises his son. And then we have this cycle of a broken home and all of that. So which situation is worse? Which situation is worse? We are stuck in our own class of society, our own bubble, and we tend to think that the way we think is always right. It's time to open up your mind. It is not what it used to be. So some of the things we were taught is wrong. Some people were taught, don't use credit cards, don't do this, don't do that. I have credit cards. I have pretty decent credit. I have different things that I've learned to build on my own because my mother never taught me anything about credit, anything about saving, anything about building a business or anything like that. So you have to go out and seek knowledge from the world because your knowledge is not the knowledge. Knowledge is ever expanding and you're never going to know everything. Your thoughts to yourself is not your place. If you're not asked, it's not for you to agree or disagree. What I eat don't make you poop. That's definitely how I feel. So if we look at certain things and we say, man, I don't agree with that, we're already turned off. We have this system of beliefs, and everything that we put in this system has to fit this system or we spit it out. And that is a problem. You can have a system of beliefs. It's natural. That's what centers your life. That's what helps you navigate the world. Your center of beliefs, the things that you went through will most definitely navigate you through the world. But you have to be open enough to realize that this system can change. So you have to incorporate different things that you learn every day into this system. If you don't, then your system is outdated. It's like running your iPhone without the updates they send you. So when iPhone said, okay, we're going to send you this, that was fine. You got it. You downloaded it. Your phone was updated. 2 weeks later, iPhone is telling you, we found bugs in this system, update it again. Now you have to run another update. Maybe a month later, they have a 16.7. We found other bugs, other glitches. We worked it out. Now you have to download this update. Your life is the same way. You have to stop thinking that whatever you learn between 3 and 18 is law. It's not law. It could have been law to you, but as you grow, that system of beliefs needs to be updated. Once again, iPhone is sending you updates every 2 to 4 weeks, every 6 weeks. And this is a technology company that seems to have it figured out, but they'll find bugs and glitches in the system, and you need an update. Your system needs an update sometime. Your system has to be updated when it comes to dealing with Black women or Black men because the dynamics have changed. Once the dynamics change, relationships change. If you don't change with this dynamic, then you're constantly looking for something that's not there. You're constantly upset. Now you're making posts and talking about, I'm done with this. Why do guys got to do this? Why do this? Nah, I'm not saying it's you. I'm not saying it's them. All I'm saying is you have to find somebody that's compatible with you. You have to find somebody whose update is for your system. And you have to be willing enough to let them update you. So you will never fully agree with any human being on everything and both of you guys be happy. It's unrealistic. Anytime you see people that agree on everything, somebody is upset. They may not say it vocally, but it's only right that we're humans. We have all of these different experiences that we bring into these relationships. And as we bring these experiences into this relationship, we're never going to fully agree because we're bringing 20, 30, 40 years of experience into a new person. As you bring this, the only thing that's going to jail the two people is if they both come in with an open mind and they both lock in and say, this is what I want to do. I'm going to work this out with this person because the good outweighs the bad. Whatever their flaws or our disagreements are, it's okay because the things that we agree on are way more important. And we're going to meet in the middle on a lot of things because the relationship is more important than me getting my way or them getting their way or either one of us being right. So you start to take on certain characteristics of the people that you're dealing with. And that's fine. That's where growth comes from. Now, a great relationship is when you meet somebody and their good qualities are compatible with your bad ones, and you can start picking up some of the things that they do. Maybe they're organized and they start helping you get more organized, right? And you have to be willing to take this and say, I have to get more organized because you don't want them to be upset by your disorganization. Anybody that wants to be organized wants their mate to be organized. So maybe you start taking on those characteristics. If you meet somebody and they budget money well, but you always overspend and you don't know how to handle your funds, then you start taking on that characteristic and you say, they can help me budget. They can help me get above the curve, help me get over the hump or whatever. So these are the things that you have to look for in a mate. You don't have to find somebody that you agree with on everything because that's unrealistic. You don't have to post, men don't do this, men don't do that anymore. You have to take that time and find you a man that does what you're looking for him to do, and vice versa. You can't talk about women don't cook no more, women don't clean no more. No, there are like so many women that cook and clean. Maybe the couple you just dealt with didn't. And if that's a deal breaker for you, then move on. But if it's something that's not a deal breaker and you can teach them to cook and they're willing to learn to cook, or you can help them learn to clean and they're willing to learn to clean, then that relationship can be a good relationship. So, like I said, I wasn't going to stay here but 30 to 40 minutes or whatever. So I'm not going to be here talking y'all to death. I think the point is made. Stop going into relationships as this solid brick. Go into the relationship as water. You have to flow. Go into relationship as water and flow with the relationship. And you will definitely find somebody that you can flow with. But you can't go into it as a brick, and you can't go into it not allowing people to come into your life and take up space physically, mentally, emotionally. You have to be available for people to come into that space. Definitely. Social media is not a lifestyle. You shouldn't mimic social media lifestyles. It's all it's a show. Social media is a show. You have people that rent cars and take pictures. You have people that go to Airbnbs and take a bunch of pictures and tell you this how they living. You have people that do all of this, make commercials, and then sell you services because you're buying into a lifestyle. They call it lifestyle branding. Listen, social media is not what you think it is. And sometimes it could be the devil, but you have to seek out positive information, and you have to seek out these type of podcasts and these type of streams to help you understand what's going on. And I don't think I know everything. That's not what I'm here to do, but I'm here to speak real life because that's what I do. Thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all can share this for me, save it. If you can only watch a piece of it, it's definitely meant to be taken in as a whole, because if you catch clips of anything, you only get a piece of the puzzle, and that's not ever a good thing. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll be back in a few days with something else to get the minds to thinking. Definitely. Be able to bond without breaking, learn to help each other. Most definitely. And it's no relationship that's good or bad. Relationships are what you make it. Your good relationship may be somebody else's not so good relationship. Like I said, you have people that are happily married and in an open relationship and doing whatever they want to do, and they're both happy, they're fine. That's their business. You have people in polygamous relationships that are happy. That's their business. You have people in same sex relationships that are happy. That is their business. Stop it. Stop it. Stop judging and look within and find your own happiness and figure out what you really want and find what you really want, because that's out there too. Stop looking at everybody else judging. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how she would have man that. I don't know how. It's not your business. Now, there will be a part two to this. I'm gonna make a part two in a couple days, and we're gonna talk about black relationships, not in the sense of actually being in a relationship though. We'll talk about how we deal with each other and how we feel about each other. So we'll do that Tuesday or Wednesday. Stay tuned. I'll make sure I post it, and I'll make sure I post it on this clip too. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.